Behold the hunk moss. Alright, so as of this summer, actually almost exactly today, I've been making beats on YouTube for 5 years now. And when I first started, I was really lost in life and really unsure of what I wanted out of life as a career and just like to make myself happy even. So I really, really clung to music hardcore as what was going to be my life, basically. And over the last 5 years, I've spent literally all day, every single day, working towards becoming a full time musician as my dream. And in a weird way, more or less, I've made it there. Like, I've made it to the point where I initially set out to go. I have an apartment in a different city, living with my girlfriend, and I've been doing music as my job. I don't have another job. I All I do is work on music and beats. I don't make much money at all. I barely scrape by my rent. I never can afford to buy myself anything. I still have the same clothes that I've worn since high school. And part of it's just me getting older, but I realize that there's so much more to life than a career. And I've always been told that, you need to do something you love. You need to find a job that makes you happy. And I think that that's true. I'm not against that. However, the part that people leave out when they say that is they make it seem like your job is the only place in your life that you can find fulfillment from. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is for these past 5 years, I have been chasing this dream of being a musician as my sole source of happiness, essentially, and my sole source of money. And I'll be honest, it creates a disaster when the thing that you search for fulfillment is the same thing that you search for money. And I had some people kind of explain that to me at the beginning, like people saying, "Why don't you just do music as a hobby and get another job?" And at the time, I just felt like you couldn't split them up. I felt like your job was your identity. I felt like if you were a musician, you were a musician. If you were a teacher, you were a teacher. If you were a police officer, you're a police officer. And I never like really understood that like your job isn't who you are. And I don't know, this is just me getting older and like more mature, and I guess I'm just coming to realize that I'm not sure music is where I want to find my income. I'll admit, music is totally where I find my fulfillment. I love it. Like, I make a song or make a beat, and I at least feel like I did something with my day. And that alone is huge. Because, we're always pressured to feel productive. I feel like we have to be doing something all the time that's productive. That's what music was for me, is it was something for me that was fun, and I didn't want to kill myself while I was doing it. I could sit down and make beats for 8 hours and enjoy it, but it also felt productive, and I didn't feel like shit about myself for not doing anything all day. But it's just getting to the point where I want to have a family someday, man. I want to like be able to leave something behind for my kids. And I'll be honest, like I'm not stupid. Like I should be going to college. I should have a long time ago. Um, I really wanted to pursue this music thing, but I don't think it's where I'm best applied to society. I don't know what happened to me where I changed to like realize all this, but like I did, and I did realize it. And the music stuff has just gotten so dark. It's like beneficial for me to just like sit inside my room and not talk to anybody and just sit on my computer. Like that's like productive. And I don't like that. I don't like that I can just hide from my problems. Like for example, I typically am a very shy and social anxious person, and music allows me to be. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm socially anxious with music. I can just sit in my room and hide. I don't have to talk to people. And like, that's what I hate. I hate the fact that music and the idea of a career in music has allowed me to like hide my fears. And I guess if I'm being totally like open and honest with myself and with you guys, like, part of why I wanted a career in music was for all the wrong things. I wanted to just be able to sit at home in my pajamas all day and not talk to anybody. I wanted to just be able to smoke weed all day. I wanted to just be able to play on my computer all day, and if I felt like it, I could play video games. Like, and those are not good things. Like, those are bad habits. Those are unhealthy things. And when you're 17, it's kind of like, whatever, you only live once. I'm just gonna make music all day. Fuck it. But the age I'm getting to at 25, almost 26, is still young. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm old, but I can feel myself getting older. You know, like, I feel like I get headaches all the time. I get anxious all the time, even. And like, why do you think that is? Do you think it's a coincidence, or do you think it has to do with the fact that I sit here on my computer all day and I don't talk to anybody? Like, it doesn't take a fucking genius to put those things together and realize that the reason most of those problems I have, again, I get headaches every day. Oh, wow, that's probably because I have 16 hours of screen time a day. Like, holy shit, it's not that hard. Like, I don't drink water. I just drink pop and coffee and fucking, oh man, I and I'm not trying to blame music for these things. I blame myself. That's all there is to blame. But I'm saying that a career in music allows me to make excuses for those things. And I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, in 3 weeks, I start school. And you guys might think this is fucking crazy, but my dream is to become an officer in the Canadian Forces. There's several reasons I want to do that. I can list some of them right now very quickly. First off, I think it builds all the positive habits that I was just talking about, all the negative ones. For example, instead of hiding inside all day on my computer screen, I would be outside all day working with people. Instead of being able to sit inside and drink coffee all day, I would be having to exercise and do physical training every single day. And those are habits that I want. Those I want to be healthy. I want to be a good leader. I want to be physically fit. I I and you know what? It's gonna be fucking hard. There's gonna be days where I'm like, why did I do this? Why didn't I just stick with music? But again, that's part of the point. I want to be challenged. I want to overcome things. I don't want to just hide behind every single fucking problem and excuse that I can think of. And you know what? It might not be fun. It might not be the funnest job in the world. And like, that's okay. I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna get a good paycheck. And then guess what? I'm gonna come home on the weekend, and that's when I'll play Diablo. And that's when I'll make music. And I promise you guys, I'm gonna make music until the day I'm dead. Maybe I die in a fucking crazy ass war zone, World War III, being an officer in the military. That's just part of my story. I don't care anymore. Like, my whole name Flux is about just going with the flow and just being who you are, and not confining to one specific thing. Not You're not a musician, you're not a carpenter, you're not a nurse. You're you, man. You're a human fucking being. We're all like different. We don't have a title. Like, oh man, I could go on and on about this, and I will in future videos. So if you have questions about this all, save them up, drop them on my socials. I'll answer them, I promise. Trust me, this is weird for me too. I'm trying to like process what's going on internally within myself to even want all this in the first place. I don't want to get all political, but like, I'm typically a fairly like liberal value person, and obviously the military is something that most people would consider to be not that. So I'm curious on how I'm going to navigate that, and I'm curious on how this is going to affect me and my friendships and my relationships and everything, but I think it's the right thing. I think it's going to make me a better person. I think it'll allow me to make the world a better place. And I guess that's all I need to be fulfilled, is knowing that. So, I'm out. Peace.